Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the SU-122-44. So if you watched my previous video, you know this has been pretty much recorded almost as soon as that one was finished rendering. So this is the SU-122-44, the Tier 7 Russian premium tank destroyer. It is pretty quick. It's based on the chassis of the T-44. So you'd expect it to be relatively quick. It has decent armor too for Tier 7 because it's 90mm, but it's sloped really nicely. And there's T-71. I initially auto aim, but then I realized, nah, that's dumb. I'm just gonna point the shot. I'm just gonna plant the shot into the ground. Type 64 drives past. I'm gonna try and go for a shot on him, but I think gun depression fails me a bit, and that's one of the main weaknesses of this tank. So overall, it's pretty quick, but it also lacks in versatility a bit because it only has 4 degrees of gun depression, which, if you don't know, is awful. Like 4 degrees of gun depression is just, and that was extremely risky. I don't know why I did that. That was actually dumb looking back on it because I almost killed my teammate, which would have been pretty bad. So got lucky there, honestly. So now we're in the position we're on top of the hill. So this is actually something I do pretty often in tank destroyers, which are relatively quick. This one here is relatively easy to do in because in Tier 7 game you have, well, I said Tier 7 game, there is 3 Tier 8s in the game, but in a primarily Tier 7 game, this thing has pretty decent armor. Well, typical, wow, that was unnecessary ammo rack for the win. This thing versus Tier 7s, Tier 6s, and some Tier 8s has actually got really solid armor, especially when you angle it. And here I'm just trying to like get the shot, and I just fuck it up. Just about. So close, but so far. Yeah, this is the gun depression for you. I'm trying to do this in third person because I'm trying not to fall off the cliff because I don't want to go in sniper mode, then fall off the cliff and just kill myself on the OI's heavy ass corpse. So now we're in the position where, well, what do we do now? We've helped deal with one of the OIs. Now what do we do? So, oh, there's an IS. Wait for him to cross over here. See if I can get a shot into him. Aiming time on this tank is horrific, but my luck in it seems to be decently okay in this game. Like, I very rarely, as far as I can recall, actually fully aim the shots. I typically just auto aim, or I take the shots early. I don't think there's been a single shot I've really fully aimed, and there's going to be another one that's a bit more insane than that later on in the game. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say anything about it yet, though. So now I'm in the position where, like, there's a Hellcat over there. I realize he's moving forward to help defend the OI, and I'm pinging the map, telling people, yeah, he's there, so you may want to actually look at him. And then 2 Borsicks are spotted, and I immediately think, oh god, dive behind the buildings, dive behind the buildings, dive behind the buildings, quick as can, quick as can, quick as can. I'm honestly amazed I didn't get shot here at all. That was just pure luck. And I think, actually, if I zoom in, I think that guy's actually turning to look at me. Yep, he is. So I just about lucked out there, just about. I'm still on full health at this point, which is awesome. Stick a shot in his ass. He's going to turn around, but this thing has an immense reload. It's, I think, sub 7 seconds with my setup. That's like 6.75 seconds. I angle my armor, thinking if he's firing AP, I have a chance of bouncing it, but he's firing HE, so it didn't really matter. I'm angling very much there. But yeah, I still have 504 health, which is awesome. And there is a Borsig right there. I spot him. I think I spotted him. I'm not 100% sure actually. Difficult to tell. But yeah, with Tiger 1 in the background, so we're like, in my mind, we're winning this convincingly at this point. I didn't even realize how close this game was. Then T-43 gets shot into my side. I'm on 2600 damage at this point, which is pretty decent for a Tier 7, and I immediately just like, oh fuck, panic shot. How raging that Borsig must have been, I don't know, but that was just like, oh my god, panic. That was just pure panic. There was no skill involved in that at all. I just auto aimed, let go of the mouse, or let go of the keyboard, and just auto aimed, hope for the best. Pretty much, that's all that was. That was just pure RNG luck. And here I'm going to get unlucky because I try to fully aim the shot, and it goes in the tracks. But yeah, that was the ridiculous shot I was talking about. There, we're just like, oh my god, panic, and then just pure luck from that point on. And E8's going to go invisible here, and I'm just like, how am I going to deal with this here? I really don't know what should I do here in order to try and get rid of this guy. And it doesn't really matter because the rain just killed him. So don't need to worry about that from this point on. But there is a T-43 and a VK-3001P remaining on the enemy team. So at this point, I'm wondering, like, where could the VK-3001P be? As far as I remember, it's been quite a while since he was last spotted, so where could he possibly be? Try a blind shot in T-43, because why not, really? Going to move over to the left here, thinking that I might get a shot into the VK if he pulls forward far enough. I might get a shot into him, and might get some free damage without getting shot back. I'm only on 320 health, so I am, like, if the VK is using the 88 and T-43 is using the 85, which I believe he is because he shot me earlier, the top 85 that is, I am a double tap for them easily. If they're both in the same position, they could easily kill me, especially since both of them have roughly the same pen. If they get shots in the lower plate, they will kill me. So, being cautious here about the way I'm approaching these guys, depending on what ammo type they're firing, they could either easily pen me or they'll bounce. So, hoping for the best here. He fires an AP round. Okay, so he's firing AP, so I'm feeling relatively confident at this point. Artillery hits him. I leave him on 96 health. At this point, I'm just like, yeah, I can take one hit from this guy, even if he gets one shot into me, I'm still fine. So now I'm on 3,924 damage, 295 blocked, and here the VK3001P kills the OI, and Lorraine wrote almost exactly what I was going to write, but he wrote a wee bit fast, we were quicker than me. OI pings were the VK killed him from. So now I'm going to head over towards where the OI said he was. I'm going to use this ridge to try and like mask my approach, pretty much. I don't want to get spotted. And at this point, I hadn't actually realized I was on 5 kills. At this point, I wasn't really paying attention. I was more focused on the damage total because I was like, yeah, 3,900 damage, awesome. But yeah, Lorraine 155 is over there. He is, I think, waiting for these guys to are waiting for us to like spot him, try and get rid of him. So he's on 415 health. So I don't want to use HE round because that thing has semi-decent armor. And I realized, at this point, I could get a tap gun here, and then I rush forward here, trying to see if I can get something out of this here. He's using the 105, so I'm feeling relatively confident at this point. He's not going to be able to kill me. Stick a shot into him, do 405 damage, leave him on 10 health. The Lorraine hides behind the building, and I get the finisher on him there. And I'm not sure what happened to the Lorraine because he just wrote shit randomly. I'm not entirely sure what happened with him there, but whatever. But yeah. So that was 6 kills for me. Pretty good game in my opinion. 4,339 damage. I don't think I took any blind shots in that game at all, so I think that was actually the damage total. 910 assistance damage as well. So for a tier 7, that was a really, really solid game in my opinion. That just shows you the power of this tank in the right situation. Like, that is the crucial thing you need to take away from this here. In the right situation, this tank is devastatingly powerful. But in most situations, it's kind of awkward and kind of hard to really utilize this kind of firepower. Like, this was an extremely lucky game, in my opinion. Like, if I hadn't been as aggressive as I was at the start, this game would never have been as good as it was, pretty much. So, and the enemy team, chances are they would have had the hill, and they probably would have won the game, because I think we had a 1375, and that was it. Go to the hill. I think maybe the Leo went to the hill as well. Where's he at? Yeah, I think the Leo went to the hill and the 1375. If I hadn't been there, I think they probably would have died to the combination of the Type 64 and the T71. That shot in the T71, I think, was probably the main thing that won us the hill there because it removed half his health in one hit. So, yeah, let's go on to the post-game stats from this, well, because there's not really much else I can really think of to talk about here. So, yeah, on to the post-game stats. Okay, so this game was worth an ace tanker, Top Gun and High Caliber, 3,184 base XP, well, that's doubled. 79,378 creds made, so that's actually pretty damn sweet. I actually didn't realize I'd made as much creds in that game as I actually did. Typically, this tank's not particularly good for making creds because of the high shell cost. Even though it does 380 alpha, it's still 1,000 creds a shot, which is a lot. In terms of the team ranking, I came top of the team. Wow, I did a lot of damage in that game in comparison to everybody else. Holy crap. The second highest damage in that game was a Borsig on the enemy team who did 2,310. I actually didn't realize how much damage I had done in that game. That's a lot more than I thought I had done. But yeah, that was overall pretty solid game for me. I think I would classify that as a carry. I mean, 6 kills, how much XP? 1,597 base XP. That's pretty mental, actually. And in terms of the amount of shots, I fired 18 shots, 15 direct hits, 14 penetrations. That's a pretty solid ratio for a 380 alpha, well, Russian random cannon. And this is what I mean. Like I lost about 20,000 credits based on the just ammo cost on its own. Like typically, if you miss more shots in this here, you'll probably lose about half your profits in this tank typically. Whenever you're just firing the gun wildly, just hoping for the best. I got pretty lucky in this game. That's why I didn't lose too much. But in games where you're a bit more gung ho, kind of it can be kind of tricky to make a lot of credits in this tank, honestly. But overall, it's a pretty fun tank to play. Um, don't really have any major issues with the tank overall. Um, the only real flaw with this tank, I would say, is probably the gun depression. The gun depression at 4 degrees is awkward. I do have to admit that there. For the most part, though, I think it's a pretty solid machine. Although, like I said, 4 degrees is bad even for Russian tanks, and Russian tanks aren't exactly known for good gun depression. So, yeah. In terms of tier seven premiums in general, like I think they kind of struggle a bit in terms of like playability. Like they don't make as much credits as tier 8 premium, and they don't train as well as a tier 6 premium. You might wonder why that is. It's because they don't get as much of a premium tank booster to crew XP and just general XP earned in general. So, like the way it works is like tier I think 3 premiums get the biggest premium vehicle booster in terms of XP, so it equalizes them with the tier 8 premiums. So tier 7s get a lesser booster than tier 6s, but get a bigger booster than tier 8s. But tier 8s, I feel like in general are better than tier 7 premiums. It's kind of difficult to explain. But yeah, for what it is, it's a pretty solid vehicle. Probably the best tier 7 premium that's available right now in terms of value for money. At 30% off, for 30% off, I would say this thing's probably worth picking up. But only if you can deal with pretty bad gun depression. Like otherwise, then don't touch it. Like if you don't like, if you're reliant on gun depression most of the time, and you're more comfortable with tanks with gun depression, which most people are honestly, um, then don't touch this tank. This tank is not for people who can't handle bad gun depression. So, yeah, but overall, in terms of like the Russian premium tank destroyers, I think this thing is the best right now. Although I think there is a new one, like a turreted, um, premium tier 8 tank destroyer that's coming into the game at some point. No idea when, but that could be interesting whenever that comes. I think it's called like the T-103 or something like that there. It's like a weird name. It's kind of like a SU-100Y, but tier 8. With a full turret, as far as I understand it. Yeah, it's a super test vehicle right now. Who knows what they're going to do with it? But yeah. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section below in terms of this tank and just the general game itself. And yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.